Hello, everyone. It's Laurel here from Forever Purple Creations. I just wanted to come on today as promised. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be here. This was kind of last minute, but I had promised some of the girls that I would come on today and do some crocheting and some crochet flowers and just go over some basics. I know there's a lot of wonderful ladies out there that know how to crochet and make amazing work, and there's a lot that don't know how to crochet that still would like to learn. So they asked me to do a live, but then they also asked me to do a video. So this can be a live and it can be a video. And then if it's too much, I can also just do a tutorial as well. So um, I'm just going to pull up my chat just to see if anybody comes in so I can see anyone. And we'll sit and just wait for a couple minutes just to see if anyone comes in. I mean, oh, let me turn my volume down. All right. Hi, Abril. Hi, Angie. Hi, Debbie. Thank you, ladies, for joining in. So I've got a bunch of pretties out in front of me. I've kind of got my laptop in front of me so I can actually look right at it while I'm working. And I think I'll just sit here just for a couple minutes and wait and see if anybody comes in so that I don't have to keep going over everything. I mean, I'm going to go over stuff quite a few times anyway. Hi, Jean. How are you? How's everyone doing on this fine Sunday? Hi, Karen. Oh, you're crocheting as well? That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't done it. I've been working on another project, so I haven't done it in a little bit. So I thought I would come on and do that again because I really do miss my crocheting. It is one of my, after my art, my drawing, my crochet was the next thing I really got into and did for a really long time. Hi, Sandra, Crafty Mom. How are you? So I'm going to go over a little bit of the basics for those of you that don't know how to crochet, let me know. I mean, I don't want to start from the very beginning. Yes, just started trying. It's not easy. Yeah, I think the hardest part for me was trying to figure out the best way to hold this crochet needle in your hand. And it's easy to say to somebody, but some people will end up holding it like this, some will hold the yarn different. So a lot of it is going to depend on how you hold your needle and how you start working it. I think the toughest part was learning how to make the chain stitch and get it all where my chain stitches were all the same size. Hi, Kat. How are you doing? Just thought I'd pop on for a little Sunday crocheting, being as I'm home alone and it's really quiet in the house. And so I just thought I'd come on because on Friday, some of the girls had asked me to come on and do some crocheting. So that's what I'm going to do. So I just have um, some of my stuff out here of just different things that I've made. Now, not all of these are my design. This one and this one are not my design. Um, on most of the doilies and stuff, I've kind of just embellished on them and added to them or changed them. This dress isn't original, but I've changed it. And I also have another one that I want to start doing and make it a little bit different as well. As I figure out how to do a pattern, then I just kind of keep embellishing on it. Cooking dinner. Okay. Aw, thank you, Abril. And then I was explaining to the girls how you can get ones like this, and this is like almost like a doily, but then it has a raised part, so you can put a nice piece of bling in there or a bunch of little flowers in there. Hi, Johnny. Um, and this one is three different layers. This one, and this one. So we've got that one. And then we've got this one, and I actually ruffled it, and it's a double layer as well, and it's ruffled. I kind of go all the way around the edge, and that's just a simple stitch, and it just makes it ruffled like this. And then this one's kind of a flower with a star on it. So I just kind of change them up a little bit as I go. Just if you change one little thing to it, you can make it look completely different. Like these two are exactly the same, but I just added a little chain stitch up there to make it look like a star. So, and then of course we have the rolled rolls, the rolled rose. This is the unrolled one. And then this is the rolled one. This one's already sewn together. So it's a very simple one to do. And then of course, my butterflies, which actually start out like, let's see if I have an 8-point here. I probably don't. This is, oh, right here. This is done with a doily like this that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all you do is fold it in half and you bring your crochet around and it makes it into a butterfly. So that's how simple it is to make this dimensional little butterfly. Oh, yeah, I love Laura Sullivan too. Is she on again, Angie? Yeah, we were on with her quite a while last night, so she's amazing. She's like me. She's a talker and she loves to talk. So I told her I definitely have to have her on my channel because the two of us together talking would be hilarious. So these are all just different ones. I'm going to move them out of the way and we'll get started. And these are actually just little doilies, but you could use these as flowers by just layering different ones on top of each other. You know, you could put this one like this on top of here. So you can make little doilies and make them look like flowers as well. So I'm just going to move all this stuff out of the way a little bit so we can get started. And I will show you if there's something specific you don't know and you want to see, let me know. I'm going to kind of go over the stitches, and I did buy a bigger yarn. All that's little, but I bought a bigger yarn so you guys can see what I'm doing. This is one of my favorite flowers right here. This is not my design. This is someone else's that I followed on YouTube, but see how it's two-tone? And that is very simple to do as well. So I will just move these over. And I, of course, bought a purple and I bought a tan. So I thought if I did a double, these two colors would go really well together. So the next thing is needles. As you can see, I have many sizes of needles. Depending on what size thread you're using, they tell you right on the skein usually what size needle to use. Let's see if this one will tell me what size needle you should use. If it's done right, oh, here you go. For knitting, it'll tell you what size, and for crochet, it'll tell you. This one says a J10. I'm actually going to use, this is a different brand, so it's called a 00. At least that's what it says on it. So I don't always go by the size. I usually go a little bit smaller. I like mine a little bit smaller. How can you guys hear me okay? I probably should check and make sure my webcam's on the right sound. Let me check that real quick. I just want to make sure that it's picking up from my webcam and not my computer. Hi, Tammy. How are you? If I didn't say hi, I don't even remember if I just said hi. Hi, Dorinda. How are you doing? All right. Yep, we got the sound and everything is on the right thing. So that's all I wanted to make sure of. I didn't want you guys to not be able to hear me. Perfect. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with the beige. I did get the purple because it's darker. And if you guys need me to zoom in a little bit, let me know. And again, I'm working with the bigger yarn. And usually this one seems to be wrapped around. But usually if you poke down around in here, you can find the end. And then as you're crocheting, it'll just pull out of the skein. And I've never used this yarn, so I don't know if this one's going to work like that. I'm just going to try and see if I can find the end in the center here, because that's usually how it's done on the machine. And then you can just pull rather than see how I'm going to have to unwrap this, which is quite annoying, but we'll get it together. All right. So the chain stitch, and this can actually be done in your fingers. It's called finger crochet. There's a way to do it, but I'm almost quite sure everybody knows how to do a chain stitch because when we make a knot, we use them all the time. That is your basic chain stitch right there. So I usually just make it smaller, put my needle in there, and then this is what I said the hard part is working out how you want to hold your thread and your needle. When I taught myself when I was younger, this is how I worked it out, and I've tried different ways, but this is how I get stuck doing it. So these fingers kind of hold this yarn tight, and my thumb holds the little piece over here, and I probably left too much hanging on, but that's okay. And then I use my middle finger to kind of wrap the yarn over to help me wrap the yarn over my hook so this hand isn't doing so much work. Hi, Miss Patty. How are you today? It's yucky raining here today, so I thought I would come on and do some crochet with the ladies. So I'm going to go ahead and make a quick chain stitch just to show you guys and show you how you can keep your stitches even. Like I said, I like mine a little tighter. I don't want really big stitches because I'm used to working with that small yarn. So you're just going to go under the yarn, let the hook grab onto it and pull it through, just like that. And then you're just going to do it again. Now, I didn't pull too hard because if you pull, you're going to get a really big loop. So once I get it through, I kind of just leave it sit right there. And then I'm going to do it again. And I'm just going to pull it through. Pull it through. So you're just you're just going under and you turn the needle as you do it. That'll help you also. So I go under with the hook facing down and then I flip it and pull it through. And then flip it back up. So it's kind of just a really quick motion. And then see how nice and how even and all my stitches are the same size. Yes, when I started, I had stitches of every size and I would just keep pulling it out. So all you do is just pull and it all comes apart and you can do it again. So I'll do it again. One, I know what I want to make, so I'm going to count so many. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like I said, this is probably your toughest part is figuring out how you want to hold everything. Oh, that's awesome. The shoppers are all in good moods. That's awesome. Yay, yay, Patty. So I am actually, you guys wanted to see a flower, so that's what I'm going to go with. If there's something specific you guys want to see or something you want to show me, just shout out or don't shout out, put it in caps because I will see that right away. How many are on the chain? Right now, I have 6. For this flower, I have 6, and there's a reason why. So you want to keep your center hole pretty small. So I'm doing a chain of 6, and that's it. So do you want me to show you the other stitches I'm going to use, or do you want me to continue on and show you how I make the flower? Yep, that's the reason I'm doing it, Angie, so you can stop and pause and rewatch, and I will count out loud so you guys know how many stitches to do as well, because I usually count out loud when I'm crocheting anyway. It just helps me know where I'm at. So if you want to see, if you want me to show you like a single crochet and a double crochet, let me know because I can show you that, or I can just go on and show you how I go about making a flower. Make a flower. Angie says make a flower. What about everybody else? You guys let me know. I'm just waiting to see what everybody says. And I know my iPad is super slow, so a triple crochet. Okay, so I will show you a single, double, and triple because they're all exactly the same. And then I'll make a flower because this will only take a quick second. So when you want to start a new row, you always add an extra chain, but I'm not going to because I'm going to be making something. But just to give you room, you always will add on an extra chain, but you're not going to count it. It's just helping you as you form the next row so that they all stay straight. So a single crochet would be you go through the stitch and you just go through one of the little loops right here, this little loop, like that braid, and you bring through a stitch. And now you have 2 on, you wrap around again and you go through both. And that's a single crochet. So I'll do it one more time. So I'm going to go through the stitch, pick up a stitch. That's what you call it, is picking up a stitch. Wrap over it and bring that through both. And there's another single crochet. So now I'll do a double crochet. So a double crochet is all you're doing is adding onto your hook. So I'm going to go over my loop once first so that I have 2 at the top. Then I'm going to go through the stitch, bring through a stitch. I've got 3 on. Now, when you do doubles and triples, most stitches you only go through 2 at a time, unless you're doing a specific stitch like a popcorn stitch or something. So I'm going to wrap over, I'm going to go through 2, and then I'm going to wrap over, and I'm going to go through 2 so that I'm back to only 1 on my needle. So I'll do it one more time. So you go over it, go through your stitch, bring it through, go wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2, and that's a double crochet. And then I usually pull afterwards so that all my stitches are the same size. So I'll pull this out and I'll show you how to do a triple, all right? Because a triple is just like a double, except, and I probably need to move this tape down, it's in my way, but it just helps me grab onto the needle. So I'm going to do an extra chain here. So for a triple, you're going to go over twice so that you have 3 on here. We're going to go through the stitch, bring it up. We're going to go wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. So see, I did that 3 times, and that is a triple crochet. So all it is you're adding on an extra loop each time you make it. Did you guys see that okay? I can't tell what you're seeing, so let me get a little bit closer and I'll do it again. I'm not really liking this yarn because it's very loose and I'm used to really tight yarn. So I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to wrap over twice like that so that I have 2 on the needle. I'm going to go through the braid. I'm going to call it a braid. Bring up a stitch. Go through 2 of them on the needle. Wrap over. Go through 2 of them on the needle. Wrap over. Go through 2 of them on the needle. And then I'm back to just the 1 stitch on the needle. So did everybody see that okay? So that would be a triple crochet. So for the flower, I'm actually only going to be doing single crochets and double crochets. So let me get I think I need to take this tape off because it's just in my way. Can you show me how to make an Afghan today? Oh, sure, Patty. I can jump right on that and show you how to make an Afghan today. They only take a couple minutes. I remember my first Afghan. It was all made out of the shell stitch. It's basically this stitch right here, but it's like one here, and it kept going. And then my second one was a baby blanket for my daughter, which she actually still has. So give me a second, guys. I want to get this tape off here because it's bothering me. Notice my duct tape is purple. All right, I just need it further down, so I'll leave that little piece on there. Let's move this out of the way. All right, so let me go on to the flower. So I'm going to take it back out, and I am going to chain 6. And like I said, I'm going to count out loud for those that want to try this. I mean, I know a lot of you know how to crochet. Some of you are just learning, but this flower is really simple to make. So you're first going to start with a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a chain of 6. I love to see how to do a hanging dangles with the leaves. Oh, well, I will do a video on that as well, Karen. That one, I can do it with this, but it looks so much prettier with the tiny crochet. But I know it's very hard when you're trying to teach someone to show them with that little bitty thread. Patty, a flower. Yeah, a flower Afghan. All right, so now you want to make this into a circle. So you're going to just wrap it like this, go through that first stitch that's on the needle. So you're going to bend it in half. You don't want to twist it. You want to bend it in half, and you want to go through the first stitch on the needle. And then I'm going to wrap over like this and bring it through both of them. And that will close my circle like that. Hi, Linda. How are you? Oh, you're welcome, Patty. I know, isn't this entertaining? Let's see if I can get through it without screwing anything up, right? I'm not used to teaching like this, and I'm certainly not used to being on by myself. So this is quite different for me. I feel like I'm just talking to myself. All right, so we've got our circle for the center of our flower. I'm going to keep this one right here so we can kind of see what we're doing because it's going to kind of look like this because it's big yarn. So now I did 6 because my flower is going to have, let me find the one I'm going to show you that we're going to do. Where is it? I just threw all these over here. And so we're going to do, this one only has 5. That one has 5. But we're going to do one like this, but it's going to have 6. So the way I always do it is I double everything. So if I did a chain of 6, I'm going to do 12 single crochets in that chain of 6. So I'm going to go through the center because remember with a single crochet, we don't wrap over first. I'm just going to go through the center, pick up a stitch, and go through both. And there's 1. So now I'm going to do it again. Go through, pick up a stitch, go through both. That's 2. Again, and what I do, I maybe I shouldn't tell you that yet. It'll just confuse you. So go through, pick up a stitch, wrap over, go through both. 3. And I'm going to keep going and I'll count out loud. 4. 5. 6. 7. Oh, that one got stuck. Let's not get stuck. And you'll have that happen too. 8. 9. 10. And this is happening because my yarn won't unroll. 11. And I'm getting close to my beginning, so I'm going to spread it apart a little bit, push on it a little bit because I need to attach to this first single crochet. So I just need to squeeze this over a little bit. And one more for 12. 12. Okay, so there's my single crochets, and they got a little bigger as I went because my thread was tight. So now I need to connect this. So I'm going to connect it to the first single crochet of the row, but this time I'm going to go through both of those braids. I'm not just going to go through the back one. I'm actually going to go through both of them. And then I'm going to bring up a stitch and then go right through this one. That's called a slip stitch. I don't want a single crochet there. I just want a slip stitch. So now my ring looks like this. It's a little wonky here because it was pulling because my thread wouldn't move. Trying to see. I'm just checking chat, making sure no one came in that I didn't see. So there's your beginning ring. So now I have 12 single crochets. So what I'm going to do, I need 6 loops because my flower is going to have 6 petals. So I need 6 loops. So if I have 12 stitches, I'm going to skip a stitch. First, I'm going to chain 3, then I'm going to skip a stitch and go into the next stitch. And at the end, that should give me 6 loops. So I'm going to chain 3. Maybe I can, yeah, maybe I should chain 3. So I'm going to chain 3, skip the first one, go through the next one. And I'm going to do a chain stitch again. So I'm just going to bring this loop through and bring it through there. And then I'm going to continue doing that. So I'm going to chain 3. I'm not liking this yarn at all. And then I know I went in that one, so I'm going to skip this one and go into this one. And again, I'm just bringing it through, and then I'm going to bring it right through the next one. So again, chain 3. Skip this one, go through the next one. So you want to watch your that's why I said you don't want to twist your yarn when you're doing it. And if you guys can't see, let me know. I will zoom in a little closer. Let me see something here. You know who you are. Just make something. I want to say it's Dee Dee. Am I right? Is it Dee Dee? Oh Lord. I feel a run to Walmart on tonight's activities, LOL. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Patty. Are you gonna go get some yarn and a crochet hook? What brand yarn do you like the best for flowers? Okay, Tammy, for my flowers, which is this little stuff, I usually use Aunt Lydia's, either 10 or 20. It's the crochet rolls. It's those smaller rolls. Um, I just went to Michael's today because I don't have a lot of big yarn, and I just bought a pretty cheap brand of, it's just Lion brand, but it's not a very good, it's not a really good yarn for making flowers. But I'm trying to use this so I can show you guys how to do it. But yay, I got it right. After I make this one, I will make one with the small yarn to show you to it. I can do it so much faster and it's so much easier. I would make a big mess. Oh, you'll do fine. You just please zoom. Okay, Linda, I'll zoom in a little more because I can't see how close I am. Only you guys can see that. So let me zoom in. All right. Let's see if this is better because this should be pretty close. All right. So what was I on? 3 loops so far? What do I got? 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm going to skip one and go to the next one. But first I got to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So then I'm going to skip this stitch right here. And you can use your needle to help you because we know we went in this one. So we want to skip this one and we want to go to the next set. And then we're just going to pull the needle through and pull it right through that loop like that. So we'll do it again. 1, 2, 3. Skip this one, go through the next one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need one more. So we're going to go 1 to 3. And I think I jumped a stitch, but that's okay because we'll still get it to work. And then we'll go through this one and then bring it through. And then I'm just going to attach this because I made a little boo-boo, but you won't know it. All right. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on here. And I'm going to pull this so I can show them to you. See the big loop right there? There's a big loop and a big loop right here. That's what we're going to make our petals inside of, is those loops. So I'm just going to make this smaller. Hi, Dustin. Want to learn how to crochet, Dustin? It just gets a little blurry at your left thumb. I think it's because of this yarn, Linda. This yarn is making it really hard to see. I think because I'm zoomed in so far. Let me check my autofocus. Hold on a sec. Because I think I might need my autofocus for being in this close. So it's going to be blurry for a minute, guys. So let me see how this looks. See, because now it's going to click though. Let me get up here and see if I can get it there. Try and get it clear. Is that clearer for you guys? Or is it still blurry? See, it's trying to concentrate on everything around it. Trust me, it's this yarn. This yarn is not that much fun to work with. And it's not a very tight woven yarn. So like I said, I'll do it with my little one next. You'll see it much better. So now we're going to work into the loops. So we need to get into this first loop. So all we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves over here by going through the loop, bringing through a stitch, and chaining again. Now I'm inside that loop. So we're going to need to add um, at least 5, I'm going to say at least 5 double crochets in here. And boy, that's going to be tight in that little loop, but I'm going to try with this big yarn. So it should be single crochet, but I did a slip stitch, but I can actually make it a single crochet if I go back. So let me undo that a sec. And let's make this oh, I still need it to be a slip stitch. All right, so we're going to do a single crochet. So we're going to go through, bring through a stitch and go through both. So we have one on here. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, and 1 single crochet. And that's just so we get this curved look like that, and it's pulled tight in the centers. So now I'm going to do 3 double crochets. So I'm going to go over 1 time. Go, see, it's clicking, right, guys? Yeah, it's clicking now because it's trying to focus as I'm moving. So hold on 1 sec. I don't want it to do that while I'm doing this. So let me fix this. Oh boy, it's not liking that at all. Let's see if I can fix this. All right, so now it's blurry back there. Let's see if it'll be clear up here. There we go. All right. Now I just need to remember to stay close and stay center. So now we're going to go through, pull up a loop. Remember, we only ever want to go through 2 of the stitches on here. So here's 1, 2. We're going to draw up a loop, go through 2, draw up a loop, and go through 2 so that we have 1 on there. That's 1 double crochet. So now we need to make 2 more. So I'm going to do it again. Go over, go through the loop, draw up a stitch. There's 3 on here now. I'm going to go draw up a stitch and go through 2, and then draw up a stitch and go through 2. Just like that. There's 2. So now we need 1 more. So we're going to go over, go through the loop, draw up a stitch, draw up a stitch, go through 2, draw up a stitch, go through 2. There's 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. And then now we need another single crochet. So I'm going to go through, pull up a stitch, and go through both. And you will see it's gonna, and then I'm gonna pull it tight, and then it makes your little fan shape. So that's 1. So now we need to do this 5 more times. You learn finger needling. What did I miss? Hi, Carla. How are you? Yeah, you probably do need a big needle, Dustin. Okay, so now we need to get over into this loop. So we're going to chain stitch again. Yeah, we're going to chain stitch or slip stitch. And a slip stitch just means you're bringing the thread all the way through this stitch. So I'm going to go through here, bring up a loop, and just drag it right through there. Now I'm into the other loop. So again, we're going to do it single crochet. There's my single crochet. And now we're back to the double crochets. So we're going to go over, go through the loop, pick up a stitch, and we should have 3 on there. I should have done with the purple. Probably would have saw it better. We're going to draw up a loop and go through 2. Did I go through that all the way? Can't tell. Draw up a loop and go through 2. I do not like that. Yeah, this yarn's giving me all kinds of problems here. It doesn't want to go. So what I do when that happens is I undo. So we still have our first single crochet. So we need our first double crochet. So I'm going over through the loop, draw up a loop, bring up a stitch, go through 2. Now there's 2 on. Bring up a stitch, go through 2. Oh, you're going to find all this frustration too when you're doing it. There's our first double crochet. And I know this yarn is really hard to see. No worries. No worries, Patty. All right, so again, we've got one double crochet, we need two more. So we're going to go over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, go through two, bring up a stitch, go through two. There's our second one. Like I said, I always pull tight. I kind of just pull this way and this hand this way with this piece of yarn to pull it tight. So then we're going to do it one more time. Wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, and I didn't go through right, so let's do this again. Get through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through two, wrap over, go through two. And there's our third one. So now we need another single crochet. So we're going to just go through the loop, bring up the two stitches, go wrap over and go through both stitches. And there we go, and pull tight. And then we have our second petal. So now we need to get into the next loop. So we're going to slip stitch again. And there we go. We're into the next petal. So can you see it? It's starting to make a flower. They are not going to stop making purple things, Angie, ever. Oh, I will show again. I will show again, Carla. Excuse me one sec. I will show again because I'm going to make one with the little thread next. So now we're going to, again, we need our single crochet. So we're going to bring through a stitch and then go through both. Am I in the center? I need to like put a little X marks the spot or something so I know where center is because I can't see my computer. So now we need 3 double crochets. So we're going to wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2, and pull it tight. There's one. We're going to do it again. Wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's our second one. One more. So we wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2, and pull tight. There's our 3. So now we need our last single crochet. So we're just going to go through the loop, pull up a stitch, and go through both of them. And then pull tight. And there we have our third petal. Pretty simple, eh? All right, so now, again, we need to get into this next loop. So we need to do our slip stitch. So we just go through, bring up a stitch, and bring that stitch right through the loop that was on our needle. And then now we're into the next one. All right, so now we're going to do our single crochet. So we're going to go through, bring up a stitch, then wrap over and go through both. And pull. Now we need our 3 double crochets. My yarn is being funky. So we're going to go wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. And do you see how my needle's turning all the time? Your hand will just start doing that all by itself without you ever needing to know you need to do it. So that's 1. So we need 2 more. So we're going to wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's 2. 1 more. Wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's our 3. So now we need one single crochet to finish it off. So go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, and go through both, and then pull tight. And there you go. You got your 4th one. So everybody got that so far? Am I making it too complicated? I'm trying not to. I'm trying to keep it pretty simple. So we need to get into this loop. So we're going to go into the loop, bring up a stitch, and bring that right through that one that was on our needle. Now we're inside this loop. And again, we need our single crochet. And then we need 3 double crochets. I'm a little to the left. All right. Yeah, just yell at me, guys, and tell me because I can't see it because I'm kind of staring at the crochet and not at the camera. So I'll try and stay right here. Is that centered, Linda? I think so. All right. So now we need our 3 double crochets. So we're going to wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's 1. Do it again. Wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's our second one. One more. Wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. Now we've got 3. Now we just need our single crochet. Hi, Mags. Oh, it's okay. I know people. I said this wasn't planned. I just wanted to. Hi, Shaz. How are you? All right. So now I need to do my single crochet. So I'm just going to go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over and go through both, and then pull tight. And there's our 5th. We almost got our flower. One more to go, ladies. So we need to get into this loop. So again, we need to do our slip stitch. So we're just going to go through the loop, bring up the stitch, and just pull it right through that other stitch. Now we're into this flower, this loop. So now we're going to do our single crochet, pull it tight, and now we'll do our 3 double crochets. So wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. 1, again, wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2. And I really use my hands a lot to help me, so I really don't have to move my needle a lot. My hands do most of the work other than just twisting the needle. So there's 2. Now we need 1 more. So wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. Now we've got 3. Now we need our single crochet. So we're going to go through and then bring the needle through both little loops and pull tight. And then to close it together, I'm going to go into one of the first stitches here, and I'm just going to do a slip stitch just so it locks the flower together. If I can get it through there. Like that. So see how yucky that looks with big giant yarn? So that's your basic, base of a flower. Now you can make more complicated ones if you want, but this is, and see how it's kind of bubble? I like the back actually better than the front because I like it raised like that. So that is our basic, flower like that. So I'm just going to tie this off, and the way I do that is I cut my yarn. Let me find a scissors here. Let me get a scissors. And then I kind of do a slip stitch. So I just take the piece that's here, I bring it through the loop, and then you pull. And then you can just weave this in, just like you can just weave that one in. So that's our little flower. So I'm going to make that a little shorter because I don't need quite that much room. All right. So that's that one. Perfect. It's not perfect. That's the ugliest flower I've ever seen, Max. Look at how pretty that looks. Look at how yucky that looks. That's because you can't make flowers with this big yarn. But when you're trying to teach somebody, although I guess I could have bought a more expensive yarn, which I may have to do that. So I'm going to actually pull out my small yarn because that's much easier for me. And I'm going to show you how to make one with that. So let me grab a roll of yarn. What color you guys want? I've got green, I've got blue, I've got black, purple, pink, beige, white. Is there a specific color you'd like? Aw, thank you, ladies. You got lost after the first 12 single crochets? I'm going to show you again, April. Don't you worry. You guys tell me what color. Shaz says purple. Good pick, Shaz. Yay, Jean. Yeah, because when you can do it without counting, you can go a lot faster when you don't have to think about what you're doing. Now, if I wasn't trying to teach you guys, I'd be whipping right through it. All right, so I'm going to get a small needle, which you guys are going to see how small this is. Yeah, for teaching, yeah, you kind of need bigger yarn and a bigger needle. Hi, Tina. How are you? All right, well, she has requested purple, so I'm going to do purple. All right, Mags, I'll be here. So, see how little it's gotten? See how little the needle is compared to this one? Here's this one. Here's this one. So you can barely even see the loop on there. But I can crochet so much easier with this. So I'm going to do the same process. So get ready, Avril, because I'm going to show you again. And I will go slow. If I'm going too fast, you guys let me know and I'll wait till you catch up for those that are trying to do it. And I will try to stay in center, Linda. And I think you'll even be able to see this a little better, especially with the dark yarn. Carla says, are you crazy? No, I always do it this. You can crochet. Then do it with the bigger yarn. But you know what, Carla? I would suggest this hook is a size 7. This one's a size 7 crochet needle. So let me see, the lower the number, the bigger the needle, the higher the number, the smaller the needle. Oh, I have a super tiny one. You guys want to see it? Kateri actually sent me this, and I can't wait to use it. This one you would actually use on regular thread. I mean, it's so, I don't know if you'll even be able to see it, but it's so teeny tiny. It's for like working with just regular thread. So I can't wait to make one with that. Oh, that tiny stuff is so gorgeous. Mine is an H5. Okay, five's good. Five's a good size. Yeah, that's about, let's see, because I was using let's see. This is a G. Some are numbers and some are letters. These are really old, so I think they've changed them over the years. Here's an H. I don't know what size it is. I just know it's an H, and it's pretty big. But if you want to make the bigger ones, I would suggest spending a little more money and getting a better yarn. I didn't think this yarn would be that bad to work with, but I now know. Oh, you're welcome, Jean. I know you know how to do this. So I'm going to show you again with the little one. The little one's going to be much prettier when it's done. So I'm going to wrap it the same way. So we are going to start again with a chain of 6. So I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, except I want mine smaller. So let me start again. Hold on, guys. Hold up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and I just dropped it off my needle. 4, 5, 6. So we've got our 6. See our little 6 right there? We've got 6. So now we need to make a loop. Ooh, peaches and cream is good, Carla. That's a good yarn. So we need to make a circle. So we're going to bend it in half, and we're just going to bring our needle straight up through the first crochet on the other side, like that, so that it's like sitting on here like it would hold a flag, you know, kind of like a banner hangs off of a pole. And then we're going to grab my yarn back. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through. Oh, maybe I'm not. I think this needle is too big. I might need a smaller one. Yarn over and pull through both, and then pull it tight. And then you can see my very tiny little circle. It's really teeny tiny. So you need to make your circle. And then now, being as we chain 6, we need to make 6. Do you want me to make this one a little different? I can do this one with 12 double crochets, because then it'll be a little bit bigger flower. So maybe we'll do it like that. So I'm gonna try and do 12 double crochets in this ring and see if it'll let me do that. So I'm going to, because I need 12 double crochets and my loop is way at the bottom, I'm going to chain 3. That's going to count as 1 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. And that's about the size of a double crochet. So now I need 11 more double crochets. So again, we wrap over, go through the center, bring up a loop. See how I have 3 on there? Can you guys see that? There's 3 on there. So I'm going to go through 2 and go through 2 and then pull it tight. There's a double crochet. So that's 2. So we need 10 more. So we're going to wrap over, go through the center, bring up a loop, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's 2. Wrap over, go through the hole, bring up a loop, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's 3, but actually 4 because I got to count my chain stitch. So we're on our 5th one. So we're going to do it again. So we're going to wrap over, go through the center, bring up a loop, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. I know you guys probably can't even see what I'm doing because it's so small, but you can hear what I'm saying. So just apply it to your bigger yarn. Wait, what? Don't worry, I will go over it again, Carla. Hi, Paula. So we're doing double crochets right now. So I know you weren't here for the beginning. So when you're going from a single crochet to a double crochet to a triple, all it means is you're adding an extra loop onto your needle. So being as I'm doing a double crochet, I need to add a loop on first. And that's going to get me my form. And then I'm going to go through 2 and go through 2, which is doing it twice. So that's what makes a double crochet. So what did I say I have? Let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 5. So we're on 5. So we're going to do it again. So we're going to wrap over to get our loop on here, go through the center hole, bring up a stitch. Now we have 3 on there. And you only ever go through 2 at a time in single and double and triple crochets. So then we're going to wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. Now what do we have? 6. Yep. We're going to keep going. So I'm going to wrap over, go through the center, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. That's 7. So see, I'm not sure if this is going to work. I might have needed to put a chain in between them because the bigger the stitches you go, you need to make room for that. So I'm going to try anyway and see if it's going to work out. If not, I can redo it. So we're going to wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. 8. Again, and I'm going to go real fast right now. 9, just to see if this is going to work. 10. 11, and one more. It is going to work, I think. And 12. So now we have 12 double crochets, but it's not connected. See how I've got this little V in here? So I need to do a slip stitch to close this circle. So I'm going to do like I did before. I'm going to go through the top stitch at the top. I'm going to wrap over, bring it through. Now there's 2 on, but I want to bring this right through this first one. So I'm just going to bring it right through and connect them. And now my circle is connected. So this one's going to look a little different than the last one we made. Hi, Marianne. How are you? Oh, I'm still, that's not even as fast as I can go, Carla. I'm trying to go a little slower, but I want to just whip right through this. All right, so there's our little circle. Let's see how much prettier that looks with that little bit of yarn. If I could stay in the center. All right, so now we need to make our loops just like we did in the big one. So I'm going to chain 3, skip a stitch, and go through a stitch, being as we have 12 and we need 6 loops. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip the first stitch and go through the next stitch. Bring up a loop, and I'm just going to slip stitch. So I'm going to take this loop and bring it right through the first loop, just like that. And now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to chain 3, 2, 3. I'm going to skip a stitch and go through the next stitch. Bring up a stitch and bring that stitch right through the first loop, like that. So that's 2. So we need 4 more. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip a stitch and go through the next stitch. Bring up a stitch and bring it right through the first one. Oh, and then it dropped. So now I got to do it again. There we go. So now we've got 1, 2, 3 loops on. We need 3 more. So we're going to chain 3, 2, 3, skip a stitch, go through the next stitch, bring up a loop, and bring it through that first loop just to connect them together. 2 more. So chain 3, 2, 3, skip a stitch, go through the next stitch, bring up a loop, and bring it through that chain stitch. And we need 1 more. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip a stitch and we're going to meet right back up with the first one. And we're going to bring up and do our slip stitch. And there we go. Now I'll pull this so I can show you the little loops. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little loops. And that's where our petals are going to be. So see? See how much neater it is too? I don't know. I'm so used to working with this. I have a really hard time when I have to work with bigger yarn. I mean, even this one, it looks a little better than the gray one, but it doesn't look as pretty as the little ones do. At least not to me. That's just my opinion. Aw, thank you, Paula. Did you get it that time, Abril? Thank you, Marianne. All right, so now again, we need to do our slip stitch because we need to get inside this loop. So I'm going to bring it through, pull up a stitch, and then connect them. So now that I'm in the loop. So now this one, I'm going to do, I'm going to try and see if I can squeeze a few more in there. How many do I usually put in one? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do a single crochet. Or you know what, let's do this one. Yeah, I need to keep it the same. So we're going to do a single crochet in there. So we're going to bring up a stitch. So now we have 2 on there. We're going to wrap over and go through both. That's a single crochet. Now we need a double crochet. So we're going to wrap over the needle first, go through the loop, bring up a stitch. And remember, we only want to go through 2 at a time, and there's 3 on there. So we wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's our first one. So we need 3. So we're going to do it again. I'm just going to go quick just to show you real quick. 2, 3, and then 1 single crochet. And there you go. We have our little loop, our little mountain, or whatever you want to call it. Mountain, fan, whatever you want to call it, it's there. So now again, we need to get inside this loop. So we're going to chain into this loop and then just bring it through the first chain like that. No, because grandson and Ella, I think I can do it. I'll rewatch. Okay, I'll do another one again with the big yarn. I'll just pull out a different big yarn and see if it works better. So I'm going to kind of whip through this one, but I'm going to count out loud what I'm doing so you guys know what I'm doing. So I just did my slip stitch. So I'm just going to say it out loud what I'm doing just so you guys know. So I need to do a single crochet. So I'm going through pulling up, going through both. Now I need a double crochet. Yarn over your needle, go through loop, pull up, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet. So let me just go through this one real quick, and then we'll make another big one. And I'll show you how much better this one looks. And then if you get going too fast like me, you drop your stitch. I think this needle's too big. That's why I usually don't drop my stitches like that. But what's nice is if you make a mistake, you can just pull it out and go back and do it again. That's why I like crocheting over knitting. Okay, so I've got 3. I need 3 more. So I'm just going to do my slip stitch. Oh, let's get through the loop. Do my slip stitch, then my single crochet. Oh, and then I need 3 double crochets. So here's 1, 2. See how my middle finger helps me with everything? It kind of holds my yarn in place and everything. 3. It's kind of like my guide. And then another single crochet. Okay, we've got 4. We need 2 more. So we got our slip stitch, need a single crochet, and then our 3 double crochets. So here's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and then a single crochet. And then we just need 1 more, and then I'll show you how much different it looks. All right, so we need our single crochet, and then 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3, and then a single crochet. And then we're going to join them with a slip stitch. So I'm just going to go over to the first stitch I did, draw my hook through there, and connect them with a slip stitch. All right, you guys ready? Look at your beautiful little flower. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I'm going to do it again with the big one, just for any of those that didn't get it, because I know you can't see anything I'm doing when I'm working with this, but it just to show you how much easier it is to work with this little yarn, and the stitches are much better. So I'm going to try again with this bigger yarn, but I'm actually going to try with a smaller needle and see if I can pull it a little tighter. So I'm going to try and see if I have a smaller one than that, because I think that one's still too big. Even though it probably calls for that, I feel like I need to go smaller. But I don't know if I have a smaller one. I only have all my tiny ones. I think my daughter stole half my crochet needles, so I might be stuck using that one. So I'll just have to pull my stitches tighter. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Shaz. All right. Are you ready, Abril? All right, so we're just going to make our chain stitch. So we're just wrapping over and making a little loop like that. Look, kind of like, it's almost like a slip knot, basically, because, you know, you can pull it right back out. So I'm just going to pull mine a little bit tighter and see if I can do this one a little bit neater. All right, so we're going to need our chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll do this one the original way, Abril, so I'm not confusing you. I'll do this one again with the single crochets. So because we have a chain of 6, when we make our loop, we then need to double it. So we need 12 single crochets in this center. So first I'm going to fold it in half like I did before, not turning it. Bring the needle through, wrap over, and pull that through both to close my circle. So there's my circle. Okay. And now I need to do 12 single crochets in this circle. So I'm going through the center, bringing up a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook, I'm going to wrap over my hook and go through both. And there's your first single crochet. So again, we're going to go through the center, bring up a loop, wrap over, and go through both. That's 2. And again, go through the center, bring up a loop. We have 2 on there. We're going to wrap over and go through both. That's 3. So we're going to keep going. So we're going to go through the center, bring up a loop, wrap over, and go through both. Okay, there's 4. So then we're going to do it again. Go through the center, bring up a loop. So we have 2 on there, wrap over, and go through both. What was that? 4? What am I on, guys? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do it again. Go through the center, bring up a loop, wrap over, go through both. 6. So you got to start watching and keep this tight because you got to make sure you can fit all 12 in there, and it usually gets really tight really quick. So I'm trying to see where my beginning is just because I got to make sure to get to my beginning. So I'm just going to pull it a little bit. So there's 6. So again, go through the center, bring up a loop, wrap over, go through both. 7. Oh, don't wrap over. I always want to do a double crochet. Go through, bring up, wrap over, and go through both. 8. Getting close. Go through the center. I got to quit thinking ahead. Bring up a loop, wrap over, go through both. 9. Oh, I need 3 more. So bring up a loop, wrap over, go through both. 10. Bring up a loop, wrap over, go through both. 11, and I'm going to get it in here. All right, so 1 more. So we go through, bring up a loop, wrap over, go through both. Now, we want to attach it to our first single crochet. I'm using, it says a double 0, but my hooks are 30 years old. So I know they've changed them a bit. To me, a double 0 would be really big, but it's probably like a set. I'm trying to think. This might be like a 5. It's pretty decent size. But it says double 0 on it. Hi, Robin. How are you? All right. Hi, sis. How are you? All right. So now, if you look at this, you can see your stitches going around in a circle, kind of like a braid, almost like when you do a French braid, you know how it sticks up on the top. So this is our first one. If you can see it, here's our first one right there. So that's the one I need to go through to connect. So I'm going to go through both, the whole braid, as I call it. I'm going to go through both sides. I'm going to bring through a loop. Come on, bring through a loop. I did that so tight. And then I'm going to go right through the next loop. And there we go. So now we have our 12 single crochets. All right, thank you for coming in, Shaz. 00 is a 3.5 millimeter. Thank you, Carla. All right. Like I said, I know they've changed them on here. I'm telling you, I've had these needles since I was a teenager. um, some I've bent, you know, I'm not very careful with my stuff. All right, so now we need to make our loops. So we need to remember we need to we need to do a chain of 3, skip a stitch. So we're going to skip one of the single crochets and go through the next single crochet. See how you can see them right here? Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip this first one you see right here. See it? We're going to skip that one, and we're going to go through the next one. And we're just going to slip stitch and bring through a loop, and then bring it through the first loop. just so we can get our little loop attached, or our chain attached. So now we're going to do it again. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip this next one and we're going to go in the next one. So again, and we're going to chain, and I always bring these close to each other. So we're going to pull a stitch through and then pull it through the first one. There we go. Now we got 2 loops. We're going to do it again. We're going to chain 3, 2, 3. I'm trying to keep this tight this time. We're going to skip this one and go through the next one. So I'm going to bring through a loop and go through that first loop. So that's 3. Chain 3. And we're going to skip this first stitch and go through the next one. And I think that's the hardest part sometimes, is seeing your stitches and learning where they are, especially when you have your stitches really tight. So that's 4. So we're going to chain 3, 3, and then we're going to skip this one and go through the next one. Bring up a loop and bring it right through that first loop. So that's called the slip stitch. Aw, thank you, Rosie. I'm trying. I'm screwing up a lot, but I'm trying. All right, so that's where we are so far. So we need one more, and it should bring us right back to the beginning. So we're going to chain 3. And it should bring us right back to our first one. We're going to go through that one, bring up a loop, and go through that first loop. There we go. So I'm going to show you. Just going to make that bigger. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, our 6 loops, which are going to be our 6 petals. So that's the start of our flower. Aw, thank you, Angie. So everybody you got that so far, Abril? I know you're trying really hard. But if you just keep practicing the chain stitch and doing it over and over and over again, you'll get it. All right, everybody good so far? Nobody's saying nothing, so I'm going to keep going. How you doing so far, Carla? You getting it now? All right, so now we need to make our petals inside of our loops. So we need to get a chain stitch over to this, but I think what I'm actually going to do, I'm trying to think, I think I'm just going to do my first single crochet, being as I already chained myself to the center. Let me try something here. There we go. Yep, I'm just going to do a single crochet. Yes, you got it. Okay, so we're going to single crochet over to our loop. Then we're going to do 3 double crochets and another single crochet. So I'm going to wrap over, go through, bring up a loop. Remember, you only want to go through 2 at a time. So we're going to wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There's our first double crochet. Do it again. Because it's a double crochet, now we're yarning over the hook first, then bringing it through the hole. Bring up a loop, yarn over. I keep calling it different things. Bring it through 2, yarn over, bring it through 2. That's our second one. Hi, Laura. How are you? I'm stuck at the beginning. 6 single, then. All right, Carly, you need to take your 6 single. Hold on a second, ladies. Let me show her real quick. Let me put this down. So let me just see if I can make 6 single crochets and show you real quick. Let me get a bigger piece of yarn here. Or let's see if I can get my loop over here. I'm just going to make a chain of 3 and then I'll show you what you do to connect it. So you're going to make your chain of 6. You're going to make your chain of 6. So I'm going to make a chain of 3 just so I can show you. So you're going to chain 1, pretend it's going to be 6 because I might not even get 6. 3. I'm going to get 3 out of this. So once you have your chain 6 done, you need to find your first chain stitch, and you need to bring your needle through it from the bottom like that. So you're like hooking it on a pole, and then you need to wrap over and bring that through both stitches like that. And that's what's going to make your circle closed. Oh, no problem, Carla. All right, so we've got 2. So we need one more, right? Or did I do 3? 1, 2. So we need to do one more. So wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. There you go. There's our 3. So now we need to do another single crochet in there. So we just go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, and go through both and pull tight. And there we go. We have our little fan stitch. So now we need to get a single crochet into this one. And then we're going to do our 3 double crochets. So you're going to wrap over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. That's 1. We need 2 more. So we're going over the hook, going through the loop, bringing up a stitch, yarn over. I should probably say yarn over instead of wrap over. So yarn over, go through 2, get it all the way through there. Yarn over, go through 2. There's 2. And we're going to do it again. We're going to yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. There you go. So now we got 3. So now we need our single crochet. So we're going to go through, bring up a stitch, yarn over, and go through both. All right, there we go. We've got our second petal, and this one already looks better than the last one. From the bottom, that's it. There you go. All right, so now we're going to our third one. So we're going to single crochet into the loop. I changed it up a bit, but that's okay. We were doing a chain stitch before, then a single crochet, but I'm just going right to the single crochet. So now we need our 3 double crochets. So we yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay. So that's 1. We need 2 more. So we're going to yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's 2. We need 1 more. So we're going to yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through 2 stitches, yarn over, go through 2 stitches. You always want to end up with 1 stitch on your hook the way you start. That's how you know you've completed all the stitches. So now we need our last single crochet. So this one we just go through the loop, bring up a stitch. There's 2 on there. We're going to yarn over and go through both. Pull tight, and we're back to 1 on the hook. So we've got 3 done. We got 3 more to go. I just did my walking. Oh, you're walking. Oh my God, I am late to the party. Guess I will have to rewatch. Oh, you're good, Tammy. I didn't really have this planned. I had just mentioned to some of the girls on Friday that I would come on Sunday and do some crocheting. All right. So we're on to our 4th loop. So again, we're going to do our single crochet in there. So we go through the loop, bring through a stitch, bring through a stitch, and go through both. And there's our single crochet. Now we need our 3 double crochets. So you always yarn over when you start on a double crochet, go through the loop, bring up a stitch. Now we have 3 on there. We only go through 2 at a time. So go through 2. There's 2 on there. Go through 2. And we're back to 1. So that's 1 double crochet done. So we need to do it again. Yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through 2 stitches, yarn over, go through 2 stitches, and we're back to the beginning. 1 more. Yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and there we go. There's our 3 double crochets. Now we need our single crochet, so we just go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, and go through both and pull tight. And there's our stitch. And I'm going to actually go around this one and show you guys how to fancy it up a little bit. Laurel, read what I wrote. Laurel, I'm going to go walk. Be back in 30 minutes. Okay, we'll see, Angie. I'm not sure. I'm going to rewatch too. I just got here. Oh, I'm shaking you all over. That's how close my webcam is. Awesome, Jean. That must be what I just got. I'm going to stop and look real quick. Oh, wow. They look awesome. Look at how many Jean's done already. Aren't they pretty? Love the two-tone one. Love that with the two-tone with the gray. Yep, those are awesome, Jean. Yeah, see, you got it down pat too. You don't need to learn how to crochet. Hi, Debbie. How are you? All right. Yep, she's whipping them out like crazy. I said once you get going on this, I'm telling you guys, it's very addicting. You'll be just be sitting on the couch whipping through stuff. All right, so now we've got 4. We need 2 more. So we're going to go through the loop, bring up a stitch, and go through both to make our single crochet. Now we need 3 doubles, so yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through both, yarn over, go through both. There you go, there's one. Oh, I can show you guys how to make one of those. Those are easy. I'll do that after this one. All right, so now we're going to yarn over, go through, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and we're back to 1 on the hook. 1 more, yarn over, go through, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. There we go. And now we just need our single crochet, so we just go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over and go through both and pull tight. There you go. So we need 1 more. So we're going to go through the loop, do our single crochet, and then we're 3 double crochets. So yarn over, go through, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, 2, not 3, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. There's 1. Again, yarn over, go through, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. This is probably why people do these in silent, because it probably gets really annoying. Listen to me say that 50 times over and over again. Yarn over, go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And then we need our single crochet. So we just go through the loop, bring up a stitch, yarn over, and go through both. And there we have our 6. So now we're going to join them together by doing a slip stitch into our first stitch of our first petal. So we're just going to bring the needle through both sides, bring through a stitch, and then bring it through there. And there. See, this one is all wonky. This one looks much better. But I really like the back because it's kind of dimensional. See how it's raised? Let me pull this so I can show you guys. All right. See how it's raised up? I kind of like that side better. I mean, you can use either side you want. It doesn't matter. But this side looks really pretty. So then you just weave in your extra yarn. So that's that one. So now I'm going to show you how you can add a little point to it, okay? And then I'll show you how to make the rolled rose. No helps get the rhythm in the head when you say it. Oh, okay, awesome, Laura. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Laura. It's kind of soothing, really. I think I sound quite annoying, but now I'm telling you, all the videos I watch, they don't talk, and I sit and count, so I can know the stitches. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to put like a little bitty point on these. So I'm going to pull this tight. So I want to get to the center here. So I'm just going to I'm just going to slip stitch through these stitches till I get to the center. So I'm going to go through both, bring up a stitch and bring it through the first one, Now I'm going to do it again till I'm in the center one. I'm going to bring it through both and then bring it through that stitch. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 2. We're going to do a chain 2 instead of a chain 3. And then we're going to go right back through the stitch we were just in. Right back through, bring up a loop. Let's try this again. Go through there, bring up a loop, and bring it through the first loop. And then we're going to chain till we get to we're going to slip stitch till we get to the next one. So I'm going to go through, pull it, go through here. So this is just a chain stitch. All it does is it helps you work your way along the pattern till you get to where you need to be, and it doesn't change the look of it or anything. So I'm just chaining all the way across till I get to where I want to be, which is right here. So I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to go right back through there, bring up a stitch, and go through that first one just to connect it. And then I'm going to continue chaining on, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. It just just by adding little different things, you can change the whole project. But see, now it's making like a star flower. See how just adding a little chain stitch on here can change up everything? So I'm going to keep going. And if I don't like it at the end, I can always just pull and take it out till I get back to my original flower. So this is just a chain stitch where you bring up a loop and then bring it through the other loop that's on your hook. So we're going to chain 2, go through that same one, bring up a loop, and continue on. So I'm almost going to be making a star, but a star has 5 points, but that's okay. Just keep going. Just follow along your stitches. Probably not in the center. All right. Chain 2. Go through the same stitch. And I just dropped my stitch, which happens a lot. And then pull it through that one. But doesn't that look pretty? So it's like a little star. So now we're just going to keep going until we get to the end. You can see how the chain stitch doesn't really change. You know, you don't not, and that's how you would weave too, by doing chains. That's how you want to weave your thread, your yarn through there too. Sorry, it got stuck. All right, here, here. Come on, and then through here. And then we're going to chain 1, 2, go back through the same stitch, pull through a stitch, and pull it through the first one. All right, almost done. We got one more to go. But this is what I do. I just sit and play, and I try different stuff. If you don't like it, or it doesn't work out right, the math doesn't work out right, you pull it out and try it again and change your math, or change whatever design you were just doing. That's what I like about crochet, is you can pull back a row without wrecking your whole project. So we're going to chain 2 and go back through there, bring up a stitch, go through the beginning, and then we're going to go right back to that center point till they meet and connect them together. Right through the center and connect these two together. And there we go. We have, let me cut this off, or maybe I might want to leave that for now. So there we go. We have like a star flower. Now you can make your next petals rounded if you want, but see how pretty? And we made a star. I always have a problem with my yarn splitting. It's so, oh, Tammy, I go through mine and get it caught all the time and everything. So that's that one. So we're actually going to cut this. Because if I want to go back, I can always go back and add something later. All right. So we have that one, this ugly one. Where's the pretty purple one? Where's the pretty little purple one I did? Oh, and the pretty little, oh, we got to cut this one. And our pretty little purple one. All right, so I will teach you how to make a rolled rose. They are really simple. All you're going to do is your number gets lower and your size gets smaller as you get to the end. So to start this off, you are going to chain 25. Okay, now I haven't made one, or did I? This one's a rolled one with bigger yarn. So that's a rolled one, and I did it with bigger yarn. So you're going to chain 25. I'm going to see if I can remember how to do this. So I'm going to chain 25 and get some yarn here because this yarn is not my friend. All right, let's make sure I'm in center. So we're going to chain 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so there's our chain of 25. All right, so I need to look at my other one because, like I said, I haven't made one in a while, so I got to see how you start this. So is that the beginning? Yeah. So they all go in that one stitch. So they're all, it's double crochet, half double crochet, and then single crochet. Oh, someone's blooping me. Someone's blooping me. Hold on. Oh, someone else sent me a picture, I think. I got behind, could not remember what next, so I made it up. LOL, you should get a good laugh. Oh, you did good, Carla. All right, so after you make your loops, I see your loops, so just back out. Back out where you're at. In each loop, you want to do a single crochet, 3 double crochets. So right here in your loop, I see you have your loops. So pretend these aren't here. You have your loops. So in each loop, you want to loop into this loop, do a single crochet, 3 double crochets, and a single crochet. So you're not behind. That's a pretty flower though. Look what Carla did. So she just improvised and changed it her own way. So she did awesome. That looks really pretty. Now you can keep going and make it bigger too if you want, but you did awesome, Carla. Out of frame there. Can you guys see? I think you did great. And I like the way you used your ball pen to keep track of where you're at. That's a great idea. I never did that when I was first teaching myself. And someone else sent me something too. Who else was it? And Karen. Ooh, look at Karen's. Yeah, I like to make these too, Karen. Those are awesome. She's doing them around the rings, and she's got like bows and butterflies. Those are really pretty. Look at those, ladies. Aren't those gorgeous? Those are beautiful, Karen. Love your butterflies. I love that. That looks awesome. Beautiful, beautiful work. See, like I said, there are so many ladies out here that are so talented that can crochet, and it is so addicting and it's so relaxing. So see, you guys, anybody, you can do this. Anybody can do this. All right, so we've got our chain of 25. So now what we need is, I think it's 3 of each. Let me count real quick. I'm looking at my little tiny one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we're skipping one. So we're doing one and skipping one. So there's 4 of each. 4 of that, or 5 of that. 1, 2, 3, 5 of that. 1, 2, 3, 4 of that, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of that. All right. So we're gonna start with double crochets because you know how when you roll your flower, where's my bigger rolled one? I don't have a bigger rolled one. I only have this little one and I can't really show you because you won't see it. But when you roll the flower, your bigger petals go on the outside and it ends up with your little petals on the inside. So you want to make them big to small. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start out by being as we chain 25, we're going to skip this first stitch. That's just going to give us some play. And then in this next stitch, we are going to double crochet how many times? Sorry, I got to keep referencing my last one. 4 times, I believe. 4 or 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put 5 double crochets in this one chain stitch. And is it going to stretch it out? Yes, it is, but that's okay. Oh, you've got the hang of it, Karen, for sure. Oh, that's going to look beautiful. Everyone can do it, Rosie. You can do it. You just don't practice enough. All right, so I'm going to skip this first one and I'm going to do 5 double crochets into this next one. So I'm going to loop over right away, go through my just one side of my stitch and do a double crochet. I'm going to try and get 5 in here. This is some big yarn. We're going to do our best. 1. I have not worked with yarn like this before. It's not that much fun. 3. 4 and 5. Oh, see, I got it. And then I need to chain stitch into the next stitch, but let me get this one. It's kind of stuck. All right, go through there. All right, so now I'm going to chain. I'm going to make sure I don't go back into my same stitch. I need to be right into the next stitch, and I'm going to chain stitch and pull tight. And then I'm going to do it again into this next stitch that's here. So I need to get 5 double crochets in there. So let's see if we can do this. So it's always a wrap over, bring up a stitch, go through 2, bring up a stitch, go through 2. 2. So again, I'll show you again just in case. So it's wrap over, go through, bring up a stitch, wrap over, go through 2, wrap over, go through 2. That's 3, right? So, and this thing is going to curl on you. It's just what's going to happen. So it's okay. 4 and 1 more. 5. And then we need to do our chain stitch in the next stitch. I'm trying to pull this as tight as I can. All right, so there's my next stitch right there. Need to do a chain stitch. Go through it. All right. See how it starts curling already? All right, so now we need to find our next stitch and do 5 more. So we need 5 of these petals. I need a lesson on your bows and butterflies around a hoop, Karen. Yeah, I love making the hoops. I never thought about putting my butterflies on the hoop though. That's gorgeous. I usually add just flowers to mine. All right, so we're gonna, oh, did I yarn over first? No. So we need to yarn over when we do a double crochet. All right, go through 2, go through 2, 1. Oh, don't like this yarn. 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is not fun to work with. All right, let's redo that one because it's not working out real well. 3. All right, let's find our loop. I'm telling you, it's because this needle's too big. 4. And one more. 4, 5. All right, is that 5? 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's 5. So we've got 3. We need 2 more at this size. And see how it's starting to already curl and make a flower? It kind of just curls on its own. Okay, so we're going to do our slip stitch. And then we're going to go to the next stitch and do 5 more. Wrap over. This is like really curling compared to using my small thread. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So one more, and then we're going to go to a half double crochet. And I haven't taught you guys that one yet, but I'm going to teach it to you next. So now we need to go to our next stitch and do 5 more. So I'm going to just kind of try and crank these out as quick as I can. Although with this needle and this thread, it may not be as quick as I think. So 1, 2, I won't use this yarn again. I'm like holding my breath as I'm doing this. 3, 4, and one more. 5. Whew, that was tough. All right, so now we need to do our slip stitch. So a half double crochet. Sounds a little confusing, right? Because we need it to be just a little bit smaller than this, and we don't want to go from a double to a single, so we want a half double. Okay, welcome back, Angie. I need all right. Yes, you can find amazing, wonderful videos on YouTube, YouTube, ladies. Probably way better than I'm trying to teach you right now. All right, so that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we need a half double crochet, which consists of you're going to yarn over just like you do in a double crochet. You're going to go through your stitch. You're going to bring up a loop, but this time instead of only going through 2 and then through 2, you're going to go through all 3. So you're going to yarn over and go through all 3. If I can get this yarn to cooperate, so let's try this again. So yarn over, go through your stitch, bring up a loop, and go through all 3. That's a half double crochet because it needs to be just a bit smaller than a double crochet, but not as small as a single crochet. So I'll show you again. So you're going to yarn over, go through your loop, bring up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and you're going to go through all 3. If it would just go through all 3, I'd be happy, but it just doesn't want to. So we're going to try it again. This yarn is just not cooperating. There we go. And go through all 3. So we need to make 5 of these as well. Hello, Dana. How are you? Thank you, Angie. All right. So we got to do 3 more in there. So yarn over and then go through. I like half double crochets because they're a really quick stitch. If my yarn will just cooperate, and it just doesn't want to cooperate right now. All right, let's try it again. Yarn over and go through all three. There we go. 3, 4. Am I supposed to do 4 or 5 of those? So I just got to look again, ladies, because I forgot if that number goes down as you go too. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, still 5, I think. Wait, wrong stitch. Hold on. 1, 2. Yep, still 5. So one more. So we're going to do one more in there. This is going to be a really foofy rolled rose, I can tell you that. All right. So there's that. See how it's just a little bit shorter than a double crochet? All right, so now we're going to go to the next one, do our slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we'll start again in our next stitch. So see, we're getting shorter. Aw, thank you, Karen. All right, so now we're doing our half double crochets again. So we're going into our next stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go through, bring up a loop, and go through all 3. There we go. We need 4 more. So I'm going to do 4 more. 2, oh, come on. 3, 4, and 1 more. 5. All right, so now we need a slip stitch in our next stitch. Boy, this thing is really curling. All right, and we're going to start again in the next stitch. But look at, see how you can already see it going? It's backwards, but you can see how it just kind of starts to roll on its own. And this one I'm doing really tight, so it's really rolling. All right, someone's sending me something. Let me go see. Oh, you're doing awesome, Avril. Oh, look how good Avril's doing. She said she's having problem with her tension, but she's going to keep practicing, so she's pretty much got it pretty good, though. I think she's doing great. Awesome job, Avril. You guys are doing great. Still having trouble with my middle finger. Aw, sorry, Angie. All right, so now we need to do, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Let's keep going. So let's go into our next stitch, yarn over and go into our next stitch. So we yarn over, pull up a loop and go through all 3. That's a half double crochet. So that's 1. Oh, that's 1. I can only get 1 done and then it just wants to fight me the whole rest of the way. 1. Come on. 2. Come on, you can do it. Oh, not liking this yarn. 2. Let's keep going. Come on. 3. Oh my gosh, I'm like fighting with this. 4. 1 more. This stuff is brutal. And one more. We need one more. 5. Phew. All right. So I think we need one more of those yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yep, we need one more. So we're going to do our slip stitch. And we're going to do it again. So we yarn over, go through our loop, bring up a stitch, and go through all 3. Half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, not being nice. 4, I got a little loop on that one, but it's okay. I really don't care right now. 5, I just wanted to keep getting stuck. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. All right, let me make sure this is going to work out here before I say we need another one or not. So we need to do our slip stitch. So skip 1, 1, skip 1, 2, skip 1, 3, skip 1. Yep, that's right. So now we need to do single crochets in the rest of them. Oh, thank you, Abril. Sorry, when I'm in the middle of doing that, I can't look up and read the chat. All right, so now we're going to do just single crochets, 5 single crochets into one of them. All right, so we're going to go in, pull up a loop, and go through both. That's an easy single crochet. So 1, 2, wait, what am I doing here? I'm doing a double crochet. Stop. 2, 3, 4, 5. I am not a single crochet person. My hands automatically always want to do a double crochet. So there's 1. So we're going to pull that tight, do our slip stitch, and then do it again. So 1, come on, 'oh my gosh, I don't like this yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more, 5. Skip a stitch or do our slip stitch, and then go to the next stitch. Do 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch, and then we get to do 1 more in the last stitch of the row, which is always the hardest. So we need to do one in this last one down here. And it's always the hardest because it has the tightest, um, it's been pulled so tight, you're lucky you can get inside of it. So I'm gonna try. Let's see if I can get in there. If I can't, we might just leave it because I don't think it's that important. All right, we're just gonna leave it. So I'm gonna finish off with another stitch here, just to make sure this is tight. All right, okay. Then I'm gonna knot these 2 together, and then I'll roll it up and show it to you. I'm just gonna knot these together, and then I can weave them in later. All right, so see how we have this nice curly Q thing going on? Uh-oh, whoops, I did that wrong. Hold on, guys. Don't be like Laurel and screw it up. Got to pull our thread through there first. All right, there we go. Now we can pull. All right. So, see how we have this really cool curly Q? It's almost how you can make a really cool curly Q too. But isn't that cool? So, this is our smallest stitch, which we need to start from the inside. So this gets rolled first. So let me get these things down. And you just start rolling it. Get out of my way. And you just keep rolling and rolling. And it gets bigger. And the petals get bigger. And you have a rolled rose. Now I need to roll it a little better and sew it. You can either sew it or you can try gluing it together. You can leave it a little spread out or you can leave it really tight if you want, but that would be the rolled rose like that. And that's it. Aw, thank you, Rosie. Thank you, ladies. I try. So yeah, so any other specific stitch or anything you guys want to see? I mean, I'm going to come on and do more, but I really want to show you like the stitches, and I want to do specific things like specific kinds of flowers and stuff. But I want all those that want to learn be able to at least do the basics so then they can do them, like to get to this, which is nothing more than what we did, but adding on through the back and then adding on around the edges to make it roughly like this. Sorry, my phone's gonna ring. So yeah, and even making these like little doilies, because you can turn these into flowers. Like I said, I can just fold this over. I'm waiting for it to stop. Sorry, guys. And turn it into a butterfly, and then I usually use a piece of yarn to make the two antenna. But these are pretty easy too. So this is 8. So instead of doing 6 and 12, I would do 8 and 16. And then you're going to get kind of the same effect. That Karen says, the dangles with leaves. You want me to try and do a dangle with leaves on this big yarn? Let's see. Let me see if I can do that. All right. So you're just going to make a chain, and I usually don't, well, I do kind of different stuff, but this is pretty simple. So you're going to just chain down a few, like 5 or 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now there's a few different ways I do it, but it just depends on what you're doing. So I'm going to hold my thumb here, and then I'm going to chain a couple more. 1, 2, I think 2. And then I'm going to continue to do that in a couple of these holes. So I just did a chain 2, and I'm going to do a double crochet now into where I'm holding my thumb on that 6th one. So I'm just going to do a double crochet in there, through 2, through 2, then I'm going to do it again, through 2, and through 2. Oh, let me see if this yarn is just, it's like the more I use it, the worse it gets. Hold on, ladies. So I'm just doing a couple double crochets into the same stitch. I can get this to cooperate. All right. And then I will usually like slip stitch to work myself back up to where my chain stitch is, just so you can't see it, and so it kind of closes it off. But like I said, there's a few different ways you can make a petal. So let me get it through the right one here. Come on. And then I bring myself back up to the chain. Let's see if this is going to work out right, because I haven't done this in a while. Oh yeah. And then once you're back up to where you started and you've chained to the center chain, you can either make another one on that side, or you can chain 3, 4, 5. See, that's not going to look like, hold on, that doesn't look like a leaf. Hold on a sec. Let me pull that out and get one more chain in there. It's much easier, again, with the smaller thread. Oh my gosh, I am not liking this yarn at all. I need to get one more chain up in here to close that off. All right, now I'm going to chain one. And it's not going to hang like the little thread does either because this isn't, I am like fighting tooth and nail with this yarn right now. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you would just do the same thing again. Now these aren't going to look right because it's a different kind of yarn, so they're not even going to hang right. So what you can do is you can, I'm trying to think here. I think you make a, I know there's a way to make a loop. Give me a second. Let me think about this. 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then bring it back up to the top. And it'll make like a cupped stitch. So it just depends on how you play with it, and then you chain again. But like I said, it's not really, it's something you definitely want to use with the smaller yarn, Karen. It works out much better with the smaller yarn than it does. You can't really do it with this big yarn. So you're not even getting the effect because with the smaller yarn, this would be pulled so much closer together. It would be like a leaf hanging off the side. Like, where is it? Did I have one here? I thought I had one here earlier. But here, I'm going to show you just because I know you'll understand what I'm saying, Karen. So let me grab a needle and I'll show you. Let me grab a small needle. All right. Yeah, you're really just, and you can make them a bunch of different ways, just however you think a leaf should look. So I'm going to make one just on here, just to show you real quick, just how much different it looks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to 1, 2, 3, bring it back up into that stitch. 1, 2, 3, bring it back up into that stitch. 1, 2, 3, again. 1, 2, 3, and then just bring it up and connect it. And I just kind of play around with them till I get them the way I like. And then you just chain again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So see how much better this one looks on here? Because it can kind of hang. So let me take this off and show you. So it's much better when you do it with the little thread. So you're just going to make your shape and then bring it right back up to the top and connect them and pull it as tight as you can. And then you just chain again. And then you do it again. Now you can do one on the other side if you'd like, and then chain. Like I could start another one in that loop on this side. So it works out much better with the little thread than it does with the big thread. And the more you add on, the more it's going to hang. Okay, good. All right, ladies. So I guess that's it for today. I am going to come on and start. I will come on then, and if anyone, I'll always go over the beginning stitches at the beginning. But I do want to come on and show you how to make the double flower, which is, let's see if I can find one that's just a double flower. I've given so many of them away. I don't really have a bunch of double, but this is a triple one. So I want to come on and show you how to make a double one, and then we'll work on a triple one, and then we'll work on making it look like this. So there's just so many different ways that you can make them. And then making, of course, my little itty bitty butterflies. And this one's got pointy tipped wings, and this one has, the round tipped wings. So they're a little bit different, and they're two different colors. I did them in pink and gray, or pink and gray and pink. So those are really fun to do, but look how tiny they are. So yeah, so thank you all for joining me. Thank you for coming in. Like I said, this wasn't really planned. I just promised Carla and them that I would come on today and do some crocheting, but I will be back to do some more as well, because once I get started, I can't stop on stuff like that. So these are the ones we did. This icky one, this pretty rolled rose, and I don't know where the other pretty one, and the pretty star one like this. So those are, oh, let me fix my camera because now you can't see it because of my webcam being focused in. Hold on one second. Let me fix this. All right, now you can see. So yeah, so these are the ones that I made today. So this message is show. All right. I don't know why it does that. No, I want it to show. Show. All right. Thank you so much, Laurel. I have wanted to do this forever. I'll have to refer back to your video and try. Oh, you're welcome, Tammy. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Paula. Thank you, Carla. It was great to see you on Sunday, Laurel. Thanks for the lesson. Hope you keep bringing us more. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you all, ladies. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. Like I said, if there's something specific you want to see, leave it in the comments of this video, or you can always get a hold of me on Messenger. I swear, as soon as I hear a bleep, I'm checking it. You're welcome, Abril. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday, and we will see you next week. Bye for now. Don't forget to get out there and create something.